right, let's see. Okay, I'm working on scheduling my Tailwind content to go out to my other accounts. Because I'm a huge fan of doubling, working smarter, not harder. So, just so you know, if you ever want to find us, if this app gets taken away, which is looking more and more likely, you can find me on just about any other social platform, or the major ones. I haven't tried any of the brand new ones because I want to wait and see how they go. But you can find us on all the other ones that have been around for a while, pretty much. We have 9 other social platforms that we're on, and I schedule the same content out to each one for the most part because I don't have time to create a brand new for each one. So if you're looking for our stuff, if stuff happens after the 19th of this month with this app, you can check me out in other places. Okay, so I am looking for their goals. Currently just using Tailwind to schedule my stuff onto the other apps. I love Tailwind, it saves me a ton of time. Shameless plug. I don't get any commission for saying that, but Tailwind has been a huge help. So I don't have a lot of time, so I have to make the best use of it I can. All right, and that's going out today. No, that's too soon. Okay, later today. All right. Okay, I think I need to put anything. Hydrate. Hydrate or dihydrate. You know how that goes. Let's see. So yeah, I'm just scheduling my content for the next few weeks here. If you are new here, then hi, I'm Jen. I'm the face behind most of our social stuff. My husband helps me with stuff obviously when he can, but he has a day job, so and my day job is being the transportation for our 6 kids to whatever activities they're doing. So during the day when they're at school or doing work or college or whatever they're doing, that's when I'm doing business stuff for Dinkin Tribe. So I'm just scheduling my stuff. Let's see here. Okay, this title. All right. Yep, and I figured it would be nice to do this and connect with some people while I do it. Let's see. Okay. Alrighty, this can be today. Sure. Schedule. Let me tell you, Tailwind saves a lot of time for me. I know it's not maybe the totally best scheduling platform out there, but it's seriously helpful. Hey y'all, if you're watching, welcome. I'm just hanging out here doing work, so if you need a pal to hang out and do work with, ADHDers and others of us who are neurodivergent sometimes find it really helpful to have somebody just sit with them while they're working. Helps keep them on track. So that's what I'm offering here. If you just need somebody to sit with you while you're doing work that is maybe not so exciting, then feel free to join. Where we're posting that, let's see. It's today, yes, but what time? 10, let's put it 10. There we go. Okay. And one of the things I do is whenever I post here on TikTok, any of the videos that you see posted on TikTok are reposted to our other social networks within the next week or 2, and I plan to continue doing that. If this app becomes unavailable, I will probably transfer to, the camera app or the play button app. I'll probably start going there first with our content. So if you enjoy our content, go follow us on those other places in case things happen to this one next week on the 19th. I guess we'll find out tomorrow, right? That's when they have the Supreme Court hearing. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see how all of us are going to cope with that if that goes through as it is. I really hope it doesn't, because I like the community here. And it's hard to build it in other places. The other ones are just not so conducive to creating a community atmosphere. So I really hope that this app continues to be available. Okay, pancake breakfast, let's see. So basically what I'm doing is I go and I download my TikToks onto using the SnapTik app, and it downloads them without a watermark for free. Okay, but I mean, you have to click ads, but it's free other than the ads. And then I upload them to Tailwind, and Tailwind schedules them out to Book the Face. I don't want to say it because I don't want them to knock me off here, but the other apps, Book the Face and the Snapstagram one and the Tube of You. I repost it to all those other places, and Pinterest, of course. With slight changes. Sometimes I'll change the hashtags, or I'll just or if some of them aren't always appropriate for the other platforms, so those I don't always repost, but pretty much I repost it. And I also schedule our blog posts there. So if you haven't checked out our blog yet, it's linked in our bio. But if you haven't checked out our blog yet, we do a lot of writing, and we talk a lot about our life with ADHD and with autism and with complex PTSD and anxiety and depression and all the fun things that we are. Hi, Mary. Good to see you. All the other fun things that we deal with on a daily basis. So we're, that's what I do, is I just reschedule them to Tailwind. But that way, if you want to see what our newest blog posts are, if you follow us on those other places, that's where I usually post those blog posts first, or when I do updates. Like I just did an update this week on agate beaches in Oregon that you can go rock hounding at, that we've been to some of them with our kids. And those beaches are amazing, by the way. If you have kids who love rocks, which, what kid doesn't love rocks, honestly? But my kids really love rocks, a lot. And they are always bringing home bags of rocks, whether they're actually valuable rocks or not, or sticks or whatever. Oh, also, I just discovered stick talk is a thing, which cracks me up. People just show off their awesome sticks on TikTok. Go look that up if you haven't checked it out. It's really fun. So anyway, but I just updated that post because we've been to some more beaches here in Oregon that have agates, and this is the time of year to go hunting for them. So if you're local to Oregon, go look for agates this time of year. They're all along the coast, but there's also other places like riverbeds and stuff. There's so many. We have a really good book that we use for that. And it's, it's just one of my favorite things to do with the kids, because it's, other than making sure they're dressed for the weather, it's pretty low key. I find a nice quiet place to just sit and watch from, and the kids are looking for rocks, and it works out great. Except one time when we went to a really great place for agates. That was in the spring, and I got there and there were no facilities of any kind. When I say facilities, basically what I mean is there were no bathrooms, which is not fun when you're out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, that wasn't good. So if you go rock hounding, you'll want to know if there's restrooms nearby, unless you bring yours with you, like in the RV, which is awesome. That might be a good reason to do that, actually. Yeah, we should. We're looking at getting an RV sometime soon, because it would be super helpful. Oh, I don't need a smart bio for this. Okay. Yep. All right. Posting, scheduling. Yep. Just here scheduling my stuff so it goes out. I don't know where. Mary, are you guys going to a different? Are you guys gonna be checking out some other apps if this one isn't working so much anymore? What are you guys doing? Because I know you're kind of in the same boat, right? Like, where are people going if this one actually does end up getting banned? I hope it doesn't. I'm super sad that it might. But where are you guys headed? Because I know we're already on most of the other platforms, and I've been building them for a while. But finding new ones, that's... Ugh. Oh, hey Mary, do you want to join me? I should see. How do I do that? I'm gonna try. This is new for me, guys. Haha, let's see. How do I do that? Invite. Oh, Neptune. What's Neptune? I don't even know what that is. Nope. Okay, that's not what I was trying to do. Help. Nope. How do I undo that? Okay, guys, I might have to get off for a second. I don't know how to do this. What did I do? I don't know what I did. Oh my goodness. That's so funny. I don't know what I did, but hi, whoever that is. Wow, okay, I have no idea how to fix that. All right, co-hosting. I do not know how to do this. Okay, I don't know. Nope, that's not what I was trying to do. Oh, unfollow. Hello. Oh my goodness. Okay, I don't know how to. Thank you. Settings. That's what I'm looking for. Settings. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. How do I do this? Oh, this is what happens when you try something new and you have no idea. Oh, thank you. That's exactly what I was looking for. Yes. Awesome. Thank you. As you can see, I'm new to making this work, but okay, there you are. Okay, how do I make you show up on the
All right,
screen?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. How do I do that? Camera.
So,
Okay.
there we go.
Yes.
There we go.
Awesome.
Try to set myself up here.
I know, right? I have no idea what I'm doing.
Corner that,
Oh,
that
there you
desperately.
are. How do I make it bigger? Is there a way to make it
Okay,
bigger?
so if you tap on like you or me,
Oh, okay.
it comes up and then it says like multiple, like how many windows or whatever, how many spots. Tap on the lowest one. I had to like choose like 6 before, and then I had to do it again. And when I went back in, then I could choose 2. And then if you hit expand both, then it.
All right, I'm trying here.
We learned this yesterday, so you were not alone.
Yes, I have not done this before. This is cool. Okay, let me see. So I tap on you. How do I do that? Okay, and now, what does that do? Okay, mark viewer.
No,
Wrong spot. Okay.
there's an expand, like it's like 2 little arrows, and that's the expand.
No, that's not it. Okay, working on it. Arrows. I don't have any arrows. Okay, no. Add model.
Did you tap on my picture or your picture?
Let me see. I tapped on mine.
Okay, what's showing up?
Okay. Nothing happened when I tapped on mine. There we go. Like, oh, see, it just shows me. Okay, let's try tapping on your screen. No, not disconnect. How do I pull that up? All right.
You go to settings. Do you see the little cog?
No, I don't. That's weird. Okay. Wait, there we go. Ha. Okay. Hear my voice. Comment setting. Moderators.
No.
Nope. That's all I got. Huh. Okay. So let me see again. Settings here. Maybe there's a different one. Mirror video. Flip camera. How do I? This is so wonky. Okay.
So when you tap my name, are you seeing like yours and mine, and then like some stuff at the bottom, and then you see like our microphone and video?
I only see disconnect, gift, microphone, camera. So if I do like that,
what's above all that?
Nothing. It's just
There's
like,
nothing in like the very top.
Hang on. Okay. No, not that. Hang on. Okay. All right.
I wish I could do it. Like see it.
I know. I wish you could too. Okay. How do I do this? Ooh, I'm figuring it out. Hang on. Enhance. Share. hosts.
Well, I think I'm on a guest, so I wouldn't be on.
Oh, so that might be why then. Do I have to put host if I want you to be like a host?
Like if I can do things, maybe. I think I have to be live in order to do that,
Oh.
which I was going to do, but
Okay, I'm figuring it out. All
you
right.
should
Well,
still be able to.
weird. All right. Well, what's that? House. Okay, I have a house. Nope. Let's see. Oh, let's try that. Invite to join your team. Thought that was how that worked. I guess not. Okay. Heh. It says you sent comments. Yeah, I don't. Maybe it's because I'm new to this. Would that be a difference? I don't know.
Is this your first time doing it?
My first time doing a live with someone in it. On
How many
purpose.
lives have you done?
Go back here. A couple. I haven't ever tried to add anybody.
Have you done at least 3 for 30 minutes on separate days?
Maybe not.
Because usually I don't think you can add guests and hosts if you haven't. Yeah, I can give you stuff, so it should be.
Weird. Okay.
I don't know.
So there must be a way to do this. All right. Well, anyway, it's nice to chat with you anyhow, even if it's not working the way I'm wanting it to. Guests. Okay. How do I?
I wonder. No, my son has it.
Wait, hang on. There. Ha! Found it. Grid layout. Yes.
Yay!
Yes. Thank you. You're awesome. Oh my gosh.
We eventually figure things out.
I did not think that was going to work. I was like, oh my goodness, why is this being so wonky today? So what are you up to today, Mary?
I was gonna go live and try to make bread at the same time because I need to do 2 things at once in order to get everything done.
Yes, I hear you.
But yeah, so Neptune is a new one. They are expected to start with their beta people, I think the end of this month or next month.
Nice.
And it's supposed to be more community oriented. They do not plan to have a shop though. They are not planning on showing like follower count. So they don't want it to be based on like that. They're trying to do things like lives and maybe like memberships and things like that. So we'll see how it goes. I plan on joining it because it's new and, never know what it will be like.
Yeah, early adopters sometimes get real advantages, right? So it doesn't
Yeah, that too. So, but that won't be till after the potential ban. Is it still? I haven't read any updates. Is it still in the appeals? Have they gone through that process yet?
So tomorrow, I think, is when they're presenting the arguments.
Okay.
I think is what's happening tomorrow. I've read a few. I'm trying to keep up with it a little, but I didn't grow up in the U.S., so my understanding of U.S. legal stuff is tiny.
Pretty much everybody's understanding of the U.S. legal stuff is that. Oh yeah.
That's what I've gathered is that it's not super clear for most people. But so my understanding then is tomorrow they're presenting their arguments officially. Although they presented the briefs, so I don't know. Anyway, I think tomorrow is the live thing, and they're going to decide whether they're going to delay enacting it tomorrow because of potential harm, I think is what they're trying to argue, because they can put a stay of that order if the Supreme Court agrees that there's enough potential harm to merit that. So
I mean, there's going to be a huge amount of harm to small businesses and content creators if they do that.
So I don't know. It just seems really, yeah.
So yeah, I already am technically monetized on the Book of Face, and for not for reels though, or whatever, just for normal posts.
Nice.
But I've never done anything with it because it's not for reels.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to remember to post on there and maybe do my weekly challenges or whatever.
No,
I don't know. It's just different.
Yeah, it is. It's really.
IG I'm not too fond of. I've never have been. It's mini blogs.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't feel like you can really engage as easily there.
Yes.
And I also don't like how curated it feels.
Yeah, That bothers me also. I've never gotten into, like, Facebook. I was a really early adopter for Facebook, but then the
Same.
last few years, the community on there is just, it's dangerous on there. I have to block so many people and unfollow people and hide them because, like, the only people stuff I end up seeing is all the rage baiting. And that's so
Yeah.
frustrating.
Yes. Yes. Or ads. Uh, or
Yes,
random people that says follow next to it. And I'm like,
yeah, it's very weird, and it'll be stuff. And then known so many people whose accounts have been hacked. Like, they'll build an account really big, and then suddenly somebody grabs it.
so I had that a year ago. Um, it was in it. So they have multiple things. So first it was like people going on IG and somehow hacking your face, your book of face. And then, I had it where, like the Meta glasses.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a separate, like a whole separate website for Meta
Huh.
for that.
Right.
And
Oh.
somebody went and created an account using my Facebook, like I don't even know how. It totally bypasses your two-factor authentication. It totally bypasses any of those like password notifications and things like that.
Oh, wow.
And then what they do is they basically like put a kit on or something. I don't even know how it works because if you're under 13, you're not supposed to use it or something like that. And so they blocked my account. I totally got locked out. And
That's
then what they
not
do is
cool.
they send you in circles for trying to appeal it, and you can't actually get a hold of anybody.
No, you can't.
Meta, you can. They have a chat on Meta, but then they're like, well, that's a Facebook issue, not a Meta issue.
Oh, wait, what?
And
Wait,
yeah,
what?
yeah,
Wait. Seriously?
yes. So like my
How?
Facebook and my Instagram are out. I can't contact anybody on either of them. The appeals process, anytime you like hit the button, it just sends you right back to the beginning of the process.
Weird.
It
Yeah.
was awful. I ended up going to the FBI website
Oh,
and
wow.
reporting it as a hack.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that did it or my email. I went to X and I was like messaging Facebook on there and I emailed Facebook. Like I did all these things. And eventually it got reinstated in like 2 weeks, which really was short compared to most people.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I don't really want to put my eggs in that basket.
no. That's exactly what I said to my husband. I'm like, I don't think I want to put my eggs in that basket because issues.
However, like, was it Rolling with the Dressers, another RV family? They just had to start a new account on here because they they followed some idea on here about deleting their cookies and cache,
Yeah, yeah.
and they couldn't remember their password and they can't get back in
Oh, that's so awful.
because they didn't set up like another way to get back in, like the face or whatever.
Yeah.
And so now they had to start a whole new account because they can't remember how to get back in.
Oh, that's so frustrating. Yeah, online is. I love the benefits and potential of these online connections, but I also don't.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. Like I go through these phases of like, I should just shut everything down and not do anything.
move off the
And,
grid, yes.
but, but like when my account got hacked, I was devastated because unfortunately they have created such a monopoly
Mhm.
on groups,
Yeah.
on selling things and buying used things. You can't really find a good place for that anymore.
Oh, you
Like
can't.
there's no classifieds. There's no you like that is the only place to really go to buy and sell new and used or new used things.
Yeah.
Um
I mean, I get so much of our stuff from there because we're in an area where people are like really happy to use the Facebook group for that.
yeah.
Sorry, I keep saying that word. I did not say that word. You get mad at me, but yes, like that's what I use the marketplace for.
Yeah.
Like,
All the time. That's
yeah.
how I got like my oven. That's how I got my pasta maker. That's how I got my pasta roller. Like
Yeah.
the thing, I can't afford new things.
Oh yeah.
That's
Well, and with kids, like you almost don't even want to most of the time, at least for
right.
us. Because I'm like, if it was new when I got it, it certainly won't be when I'm done.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
I don't want to
Yeah.
overspend on that.
Yeah, we don't often sell our things. It's not worth it.
That is also true. Yeah, there's times where I'm like, Goodwill is not going to take this either.
Nope. So
And
yeah,
most,
and then of course all my memories, like honestly, I've lost so many photos and things along the way that Facebook's the only place that has it.
yeah, yeah,
Um, and
absolutely.
then of course my like friends.
Yeah, like
I
friends from
only
all
some of
different.
my friends I only have there.
Yes, yeah. I have friends. I have international friends
Yeah.
because I grew up in Jamaica as a teenager. So all of my high school friends, that's how I stay in touch with them.
I went on a mission trip when I was 14.
Hmm.
The only place I have them is on my Facebook. And if
Yeah.
I didn't have them on my Facebook, I wouldn't have known that we were in Maine at the same time a few years ago and was able to like meet up with them. Or
Yeah.
we were in the same place in Pennsylvania and could meet up with them.
Yeah.
Like,
True. Like that's because that's how we find things out nowadays, right?
yeah,
Like I don't see. Yeah, it's hard because I would rather not be on there at all. But there's all those connections that are just so hard to effectively transfer to some other place.
exactly. So we are I'm trying to kind of put blinders on about the potential ban and be like, it's not gonna happen, la 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 la.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I hear you. I'm like, okay, it didn't happen before, so maybe we'll luck out again.
but also just I don't know. I don't. YouTube is a great place to be long term, I think, but I have zero desire to make long form content,
Right.
um, nor watch long form content.
Yeah.
We have a friend who was at least very big in the RV community,
Mhm.
um, and they've stopped doing short form content. It doesn't bring them joy, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Um, but then like they post something on the Book of Tube, and I'm just like, I have zero desire to watch 22 minutes to figure out what you're talking about. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah. Like it's well, and in the travel space, like unless you are planning to go to that place, I don't feel like you want. Like, I still go. I'll go to a blog post before I'll go to a long form video because I can
Yes.
consume it so much faster.
Yes, exactly.
Find what I want quickly, and like maybe I'm just deficient at forwarding. And you know, like
I think it's also the ADHD of just like I get to the point
yes,
now.
yeah, no, like I don't want to fast forward through the first 10 minutes of you telling me what a great place this was without actually giving me the information I'm looking
Yeah.
for.
So it's kind of funny right now. I don't know. Do you know who Less Drunk More Journey is?
No.
Okay, so they're a super famous RV family.
Okay.
Been doing this, I don't know, probably 7 years or something,
Okay.
maybe even more. I don't know. Um, but they were basically the beginning of the YouTube craze for RVers. They are actually parked right across the street,
Nice.
but we haven't like actually got to meet them because they're like never there.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that that's who it was at first. I just saw a family with children as I walked by my camper. And I was like, oh, how long are you going to be here? My kid will love having kids around. And I'm pretty sure they were like, oh my God, it's some kind of creeper stalker person.
He's getting recognized, right? Oh my
No,
goodness.
well, yeah. So I didn't recognize who they were until they like turned around and she spoke. And it was like, oh boy, I'm sorry. um,
Right? Awkward.
But like I used to watch before we came back to the States, I used to watch their videos because
Oh,
A, there was no short form content. Like reels and TikToks and things did not exist at that time.
yeah, yeah.
And then B, like we were like we weren't doing it.
Yeah,
So I needed to learn about it.
right. The
But
best
as
way to
soon
learn.
as we like came back and started doing it, I have zero desire to watch other people doing it because I'm already doing it.
Right. Yes. And most usually you're past the beginner's level of that, and so you're like, okay, I just need tweaks. I don't need the whole process.
Or just like, let me get to know you. Like, little brief, quick, like, let me get to know you. And it's the same with like the ADHD stuff. Like, or the parenting stuff for me. It's like I'm way past that stage where I want to sit there and listen to long, because I've already done the researchaholic stuff where I have like hyper focused on it. I am done. I'm moving on. I have other things I am hyper focusing on now.
That's a good way to put it, because yes, that's what I did as well. Is like when I'm in a new space, figuring something new out, like ADHD. When
Yeah.
we got our first diagnosis, like 7 or 8 years ago, I studied it so intensely.
Yes.
I personally do not have ADHD, but now the majority of my family does. Where I'm in the minority now, the 8 of us. And I wanted to understand all of it. And so I read everything, but now I just need the tweaks. I don't need the entire textbook.
Yes.
A
Yes.
long post, just like that. It's usually like, yeah, I
The
don't
long
even,
blog posts, the long podcasts, like
yeah, it's like way more than I want at the moment.
yeah.
So,
And like I'm all about like refreshing and learning new things and stuff, but like give me a blurb, and then if I really want to dive into it, then I will. But like give me the blurbs. Well, and even like so last year I was really into human design. Like the last like year and a half. And I still love it. Huh?
what is that?
Human design. It's kind of, do you know what the Enneagram is? Or the Myers-Briggs? It's kind of like that, but it's based on when you were born.
Oh, interesting.
And I find and it's not just about your personality, but about how you interact with the world.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it was really, it's kind of like when you discover you have ADHD and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, my world makes sense. It's kind of like that. But when I was really diving deep into it and loving it, and I loved using it with my coaching clients. But now, like, I don't want to sit there and listen to all the same, like, I want to go, when I need to know something, I will go and look it up, but I don't want to sit here and just like watch a bunch of things on it.
Yeah, it's too much. Absolutely.
I've already done it. Moving on.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain that, how, especially with ADHD and autism is kind of similar in this way too. With when you find that new interest, the level at which you jump in is it's so much higher than, say, a person who's not neurotypical or who's not neurodivergent, because you're just like, you want it all and as fast as it can get there. Here's the fire hose, I'm gonna absorb everything.
Yeah. Stamped in Love ADHD says body doubling is my most effective tool against. I'm guessing you posted probably ADHD, but it got a typo.
Yeah.
Unless it's something else I don't know. I haven't discovered yet.
Yeah.
So happy to find lives with other people that get it. Yes. We totally. So my family is completely ADHD. And then we actually suspect some ODHD for some of us. My brother is autistic, and pretty sure my mother is as well. She is at almost 60, coming to realize that, yes, that's most likely. Oh, something was filtered. So whoever that is, if TikTok does weird filterings, if it has anything to do with like weight or, I don't know, diagnose different things, sometimes you just have to say it in a different way. So if you could just say it in a different way, that will help us know what it was. But yeah, it's so intense in our home. But I never knew. Like, I look back and I'm like, how did nobody know? How did nobody know?
Yeah.
I'm learning my oldest is a DD. I'm guessing you're supposed to say, I'm guessing you're trying to say ADHD. And I'm struggling.
Let me see if I can pin it. How do I do that?
I couldn't yesterday.
Oh, okay. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
It's,
with two, I think with two people you just can't. I don't know why. Unless it's maybe two hosts, you can. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm spacing it out. It blocked my last. Yeah. I don't know why. Again, TikTok bots are weird.
Well, they are. They block weird stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We were
but we're
yesterday we were
in love.
we were talking about our campers
Mhm.
being overweight, and they blocked that comment.
I did not even think about that. Oh my goodness.
I'm like, really?
There are appropriate uses of most of these words that don't apply to the way they're used now socially. So that
Yes.
makes sense. Oh my goodness.
Stamped in Love ADHD. I do help parents with that. So if you ever do need help, please feel free to reach out. I
Yeah.
don't really advertise my parenting coaching stuff right now because the marketing of it burned me out.
Right.
But that is something I do. So if you ever need help, please reach out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, and I don't really do much about the parenting stuff on this account as much, though maybe I should. I don't know. I wanted this to be my free and flowing, and whatever I wanted to do, I could do it. Like, this is my no rules account. This is
Yep.
I am tired of trying to like appease algorithms, and
The algorithm gods.
I'm over all of that stuff. I just want this to be, which is my human design, right? Like, so in my human design, I am a generator. And what that means, and I'm a pure generator. So I need to make decisions by following my gut,
Right.
which totally tracks in my life. Anytime I've done that, it's worked out well. Anytime I haven't, it has not worked out well. Um, and and I was just like, you know what? I'm tired of like trying to do what everybody tells me to do, and that's not working, and I just get overwhelmed and overstimulated and all the things. So this is my account where I'm like, I'm gonna do what the heck I want to do.
Yeah.
Oh, yay! Thank you for sending her some hearts or some roses.
Yeah. No, it's thank you so much. Those are so cute.
Yes, I love the little rose. They also have these like little heart puffs that are super cute. Those are my
Nice.
one, like little cloudy hearts.
How many people in your family have? How many people are in your family? Because you said you're all ADHD, and so many
So
people.
there's just the three of us. We're a
Okay.
tripod family.
Okay.
But pretty sure my dad had it and doesn't know. My mom, my brother. Yeah, pretty sure a lot
But
of
like when
us.
you start looking into it, as you start learning about it. This is happening in my family too. We're like, oh, I'm pretty sure this uncle, this aunt, this parent, this like you start seeing it, and you're like, because they weren't diagnosing it at the level they are now, and it's still totally underdiagnosed. But because they weren't doing it, 30
And
years.
women learn to mask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So most women don't find out until their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s.
Yep, I know.
You know, they start going through birth and menopause, and it starts getting worse because with women, it's our hormones that really control it. So
Yep.
yeah. So like Stamped in Love ADHD says, I'm just now getting diagnosed at 30, first in the family to get the label. But parenting other neurospicy little people makes it even tougher. Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
And like you're trying to figure yourself out. Like for me, I'm starting to consider the fact that I might actually be autistic because my daughter definitely is. One of my daughters is. But I'm having to consider that but then it's hard to know whether I was, because I fit in that gifted category as a kid, and now most of those people are getting diagnosed. But it's crazy because then you're looking at it and you're like, so was I autistic and I now have trauma because that wasn't handled appropriately, which happens, right? Or do I have trauma and it looks like I'm autistic because of the trauma?
It's hard. So that, and complex PTSD isn't even
Yeah.
widely recognized. And so there's also really no studies on it. And so it's very hard to, and honestly, I think a lot of it is our ADHD or autism or ODHD often causes people to react to us in a way that then develops complex trauma. So then it's actually like a 2-in-1. He
Yes.
says trauma most definitely makes the already sticky situation. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. No, totally. 100%. Yeah. Yeah, that's what you're trying to figure out. You're like, okay, because and the difference is, of course, then how you respond to it, right? Like, do I have trauma from not having the autism handled when I was a kid, or is it the trauma just showing up like that? And so then, and the reason it matters is because you're different. You're going to take different approaches in solving for the symptoms you're experiencing, right? Like that's the biggest part of it. Like it's not like a diagnosis would necessarily help me for myself, except that trying to understand, okay, so when I'm seeing this symptom, for lack of a better phrase, trait, whatever, when I'm seeing that, how do I best solve it? Am I solving it as a trauma thing, or am I solving it as a this is my sensory thing and I'm just going to be doing that now because I realize that's me?
Yeah.
So,
Well, and I think if you kind of just go into it going, this is me right now, like it really doesn't matter if it's always been you at this stage of life. It's just the acceptance of this is me and that's okay is often just what you need, right? And just figuring out what you need in the moment. It doesn't matter. You don't have to like solve it.
right.
You just need to figure out what works for you.
Yes, that's a good point too. Yeah.
And it's not a moral failing. That is
Yes,
like the biggest
exactly.
thing.
Thank you. Yes. I get mad about it because my husband didn't get diagnosed till he was in his 30s, late 30s.
Yeah, that's all of us. Well, no, my husband and I.
Right. And so you've gone through all of life with people not understanding that this wasn't something you could actually help.
Yeah.
And being blamed for that. It's as ridiculous as blaming the kid who needs glasses for not being able to read the board. Like, it's nonsense that they can't. It's not even like they're not trying to.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just like, I get really frustrated for like adults like you and like my husband who had to go through all of elementary school like that. And, like, yeah.
And like so for me, I was, the quote unquote high functioning,
Right.
gifted, what we now call twice exceptional now that we know. And I learned to mask. Yeah, learned to mask very, very well because Mary did not like the way her parents reacted to things, and I did whatever I could to avoid that. Meanwhile, like my husband, on the other hand, just completely reacted anytime there was a more kind of like punishment, and so his was very. So he was actually diagnosed as like OCD instead of the ADHD. So it was, and it's often like, and that's what I'm realizing a lot about these newer diagnoses that are coming up, like, pathological demand avoidance. And what's the other one right now? I'm forgetting what it is. But those ones that are based on,
The RSD, rejection sensitive dysphoria, or
So that is a symptom of the ADHD. That is like one symptom of it.
so you've got a question here, Stampton Love. ODHD, I think it's spelled AUDHD, and it's basically autism, ADHD combined.
Yeah.
One of my daughters have, but it sounds like you're finding that in your own house too, right, Mary?
Yes. So it's basically like you have symptoms of both, and so you're a contradiction sometimes.
Yes.
And it's really just like the different situations. It's how you're responding in different situations. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So what I'm finding with like pathological demand avoidance and stuff is that it's not, oh my gosh, that is so loud.
Right?
All the crinkling. Ah.
Hey,
He's doing it on purpose now. Oh my gosh. We also both have sensory processing disorders, and I feel like it's God's biggest joke to put a sensory seeking child with two sensory avoidant parents. But yeah, so like with pathological demand avoidance and all those like behavioral diagnoses, it's often because they are on the spectrum, most likely, and they're not being parented or taught in ways that meet their needs. So they're really just being diagnosed with these disorders because society is not meeting them where they need to be, and they're expecting them to operate as a neurotypical, and so then they're getting frustrated and whatnot, and then it comes out as demand avoidance. But what I have found is like when you treat them with logic and respect and like you meet them where they need to be and treat them as humans, then you often don't have the demand avoidance. Or if like you work with them, like, hey, yeah, I just need this done. Let's work together to find what's going to work for you. You're not going to have the no that you would, typically find.
Imagine treating people with kindness. They actually like to do it. They like to work with you. I mean,
yeah,
it's going to be shocking, but
I mean, totally my kid will be like, no, sometimes, right? But like, we don't just go, you don't tell me no. And like,
yeah.
It's that type of, we're like, no, what do you mean no? What can you, like, what? And then you like dive into it and figure out, oh, okay, that is what you're struggling with. That's what you're worried about. Or that is, you're worried that you're going to miss this thing. All right. Do you think you could do it afterwards instead? Sure. Having conversations. Like,
you're not assuming that they're doing it to bother you, that they're doing it to be obnoxious, that they're doing it, like, whatever. You don't assume the motive.
Yes.
You assume a motive that's appropriate, right? You assume, okay, if they're telling you they don't want to do this, and whether verbally or behaviorally.
Yeah. And so we call it assuming positive intent.
Yes, I like that. That's great.
You assume that like they're not trying to get one over on you or manipulate you or be mean or whatever.
Yes. I mean,
and that there's a reason.
Yeah. I think previous generations really did that a lot. I think we're finally starting a lot of the younger parents. I watch a lot of younger parents than myself because they're so much more in tune with that. And so I learned a lot of really good tips watching younger parents who have taken the time to understand child behavior and child development. There's some great accounts on here that I followed. I learned so much from them because the way I was raised, there was always the assumption that the kid was doing stuff you didn't want them to be inconvenient to you on purpose somehow. Yeah. Oh, nice to see you, stamped in love. Stick around if you can, but if you have to go, that's okay too. Thank you. It's nice to talk to you. But like they were raised, I think so many previous generations raised kids with the assumption that kids were trying to be bad, that they were, I mean, I still see it with teenagers even. So often people are assuming that teenagers are these awful kids, and I'm like, no, they're not. Most of them are really quite reasonable and kind. I mean, there's a couple, as in every demographic, there's punks, but mostly they're just trying to get along in life. And
and they're trying to, so they're, teenagers and toddlers are more alike than teenagers and 9-year-olds. Like, they're going through a whole brain, like, reorganization. And they're just trying to figure out life just like a toddler is. Yeah. And so they are going to have their moments. Like, but they also can be really cool because you can finally joke with them as like normal human beings.
So funny. Oh my God, I get the best tea from my high schooler. It's great.
But it is a lot of like just be like, whoa, you must be really angry to say that to me right now. Maybe we just go take our separate spaces and come back and discuss this later. Like,
that's such a kind way of handling something that could be really awkward and hard. And like so often when you take that approach, like I'll come back. I've had that with my teenagers too. I'm about to have 4 teenagers in my house this summer, so pray for me, y'all. but like, yeah, those are the situations where you say something and you're like, you really said that? And then you give them space and you come back later and they're like, I don't know what my brain was doing. I don't even remember saying it hardly, and I believe them because
because a lot of them don't. Yeah. And then you add in the ADHD or any kind of neurodivergency to it, and it is like that a lot. But it's teaching them, like, you know what, when we start to feel this way, maybe we just tell people instead, like, hey, I'm not feeling so hot right now. I'm going to go lay down, or I'm going to go do my, whatever it is I need to do. Like in my program, I have a section that I'm like the calm down toolkit, like figure out what you personally need to calm down, like which music makes you feel different ways and which sensory things make you feel different ways and, different spaces. And that's one of those things that I liked about human design is that I learned that I do actually like I'm what they call caves, which means I need my back to face a wall.
Yes.
I like my little spaces. So my desk now literally is like this little alcove.
Yep.
And that is me. And I've always done it, and I just felt weird, but now I know, like, no, that is like literally what makes me feel safe in order to do the things I need to do.
Yeah.
But it's learning those things about yourself so that you can then input them before you get overstimulated or angry or whatever. But it's teaching our kids to do that as well as teaching ourselves.
Right. Well, it's like this radical self-love, right? I don't know that phrase, but it's just really, it works really well because that's, you figure out what you actually need and what they actually need and help them figure out your kids. Help your kids figure out what they actually need. And it just changes everything. Like, yeah.
That's our oven.
Oh, it's you. I thought it was my house.
No, it's our oven.
You're fine.
My husband got hungry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I was like, is something blowing up in my house? No, we're good. Okay. But it makes such a huge difference letting our kids and ourselves have those things that maybe I don't understand why. Like one of my kids, she almost always has to be at the dinner table in headphones. And I don't even blink at it now because there's 8 of us. Like, even if we were whispering, it would still be loud. So if that's what she needs to be able to be in our space, I don't consider that rude. I consider that you're trying to be with us.
Yes, exactly. Like you are finding what you need in order to participate in life.
Yeah.
On your terms. Yeah.
Like on holidays, even on days off and stuff, when the kids are all on their phones for an hour or two after we've all spent the morning doing whatever we're doing together, I'm like, yeah, do that because I have to unwind too.
Yeah, same.
Space to just like, regulate again.
Before phones and stuff, right? Like I was a teenager and school is very overstimulating. It's, one of the great things about homeschooling is we don't have to deal with that. But I was not homeschooled. And I remember coming home and I just want quiet. I was like making something and my mom came home and I was just quiet. I wasn't rude. I just was giving like maybe 1-word responses because I was still decompressing. And she got so mad.
Yes.
And she's like, you are being so disrespectful. And she was talking about, like, I'm just standing there, like, just looking at her dumbfounded as she's just like, I know what you're thinking. I was a kid once too. And I know exactly that and I was like, what am I don't even understand what's going on right now.
And we've had that at holidays with my extended family. We're not in contact with them currently for safety reasons, but that used to happen a lot where they would get offended that we are not out in the room with everybody, that we've gone to our room for a little while, or they would get offended that adults are sitting on their phone in the room with other people around because the house is small and there's not really any other spaces. And it was so freeing for me as an adult to suddenly realize, it's not that they don't want to, like, they're choosing to stay here. They haven't left. They're adults. They could leave and go home.
Yes.
They're choosing to stay here, but they need space to regulate themselves again so they can show up as their best self and understanding that, right? Because, and I get too that for some of us it's triggering when someone else is on a phone. And so that can be like a trigger point by itself. But learning to recognize for myself and also for my kids that they're actually doing a really smart thing. Like I would read books for hours as a kid because I didn't have them either. And it would be the same book I've read 10 times. But it gave me that same sense of, okay, I'm taking a break from real life because it's intense and just chilling. Right? So it's the same concept. It just,
as long as there's like a balance to it. Yeah. So my rule is when somebody's talking to you, like you either tell them, hey, let me finish this and then I'll get back with you, or we stop what we're doing and we actually like listen. Because the problem is they're not able to do both.
Absolutely.
And we do need to like take time, especially when it's a parent and a child. You kind of have to just adult sometimes and be with your kid. That's that's an important part.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. So we actually got approved for the DAS pass for Disney yesterday. I'm so excited.
Oh, nice.
It
Yes, I
makes it so much easier.
yeah, yeah, it does. Yeah.
I was afraid we wouldn't, but the idea of my child charging into other people or the ropes and things, I
Yeah.
guess really makes it make otherwise.
Yeah. No, it's totally reasonable. I'm glad you requested it, and I'm glad they gave
Yeah.
it.
Because and that's the thing is like he has such big movement needs, like in tiny spaces,
Yeah.
which would be fine. Like if Disney would let me have my child just hanging, like the bar ones, right? It's a metal bar, nobody's on the other side. If
Yeah.
he could just hang off that and
Mhm.
like swing a little, we would be fine. But no, you're not allowed to do that.
No, you can't for safety reasons, I'm sure, but still.
Yes, that's what they say, but I can't figure out what safety concerns there actually are with that. But yeah, like
Right.
climbing it, I could understand, but just like hanging, I don't know. Like your butt's this far from the ground, like I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like if he was kicking someone, that's a different situation.
Right, right.
But,
It's not any more dangerous than the playground, you would think, but
yeah, no.
yeah. Well, I'm glad. So have you used the Dash Pass before there at Disneyland?
Last year, yeah,
Where,
last season,
sorry, are you at Disneyland or Disney World? Which one?
World,
Okay.
yep, World. We
Yeah.
haven't made it to California yet. We haven't made it. Like we've been past the Mississippi once,
Okay.
but not really beyond that. I don't think. Yeah, we haven't crossed the Mississippi again.
Okay.
Maybe this year. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's harder because we travel. You know, we travel for work. We don't. We get fun out of it, but it's not like we get to just go wherever we want to go all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have to kind of go where you're sent a little bit.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get going because I also haven't eaten and I'm starting to feel the headache.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Thanks for
but
hanging
this was
out.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad you could
Next
hang
time,
out.
I'm starting to think that the double hosting, the co-hosting, is probably better.
Okay.
Um, now
Yeah.
that I've done it as a guest and then had a guest,
Sure.
because then I think that it also goes out to my people.
Oh, I see. So yeah, that makes sense.
You
Okay.
know, so then we're both having that little light up thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I have to try it, but I think that's how that would work better
Okay.
for
Sounds
future
good.
reference. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. As you can tell, I haven't tried to join people before, so this is new.
Yeah, same. Yesterday was my first time having somebody, so
Okay. Awesome.
I'll be
Yeah.
doing that from now on.
Yeah. So I think you messaged me, and let's talk about getting together and doing this again next week sometime. Because that would be
Not
awesome.
next week, but the week after, because
Yes.
next week is the RV show, and I'm already like,
Ooh.
how am I going to do anything?
Do
I
you
don't know.
present there, or you just go and attend?
So Monday is a content creators networking event.
Nice.
Tuesday is industry day, so that is when I will go and I'll help out a little bit at a booth, but mostly I'll be touring RVs and things like that, and trying to make some content. I'm still ridiculously self-conscious, so we'll see how it goes.
I can almost not film in public because it makes me feel nervous, and I'm like, I get paid to do this. How am I still nervous?
So self-conscious. I am definitely not as like free as other people. And then I'm always afraid of like bothering somebody.
Yes. Uh huh.
Like my signature was developed because I'm afraid of bothering people.
Yes.
So that's part of it. And then Thursday we're gonna go back and actually work a booth.
Okay.
For my husband does RV roofing solutions,
Oh, cool.
so we're gonna go and help them out with a booth.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds cool. I didn't think about that. We should try to go to one of those. We want to get an RV at some point, but we're just trying to make life work in the house we're at the moment. So cannot add another thing to the list. But thank you for joining me today. I know you got to go cook your bread, so
Yeah, a lot of things. I'll talk to you later.
yeah. Thanks for coming on. See ya.
Bye.
All right. Yeah. So that was Mary. Go follow her if you haven't yet. She's awesome. She knows a lot about ADHD stuff. Yeah, we just had a great conversation about a lot of the things our families deal with that. Hi, kitty cat. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, we had a great time. All right. Anyway, I'm just working here. All right. Let's see. to jump off for a second there, but do. All right. Okay, let's run this one.